Let's show them we can rise from ash. Jade, lavender, and scarlet phoenix power. Together we will rise. They tried to burn us, we bloom like a flower. They didn't know we had a phoenix's power. Phoenix power.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Jade Phoenix here. We are back. The Feinics Gate is open. The color wheel is spinning, and I am joined by my partners in crime, the lovely ladies of the color wheel. What's up? First, we're going to introduce who else but...
Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
What is up, bitches, bros, and non-binary hoes? It is Scarlet, and I don't know, man.
Your brain is soup.
My brain is soup, and I am a cafeteria lunchroom for like a school spork.
Yes.
Like the ones that just barely fucking hold anything together.
Ew. That makes sense. And of course,
Sorry.
we cannot forget our lovely Lavender.
It all started when I was born.
Hello, all. We're here. We're queer, and, well, we're going to tell you
We're
about
gonna tell
it.
you all about it today.
So the Feinics Gate has been very neutral in a lot of our dealings in the past. Like, we try to keep our political nature private because our views are our own. But in the past month, I and my compatriots here have literally witnessed the dismantling of democracy as in 31 days.
It feels like, it literally feels like his, how do I even say this? It feels like,
However the fuck you want.
it literally feels like he's already been in office for 4 years and it hasn't even been 31 days.
Yep.
It feels like I've been through a year of absolute fuckery, and it's barely been a month.
Yep.
And I
Like-
want to slam my head into a brick wall.
Yep.
Actually, I want to slam his head into a brick wall.
Not
That
even-
feels more satisfying.
Honestly, at this point, I really wish that somebody would just Luigi.
Yeah.
Just
someone-
Luigi.
Someone
where are
needs to
you?
Luigi him.
But so because of everything that we have been seeing and all the things that have been coming out, and it is a lot, guys. We get it. We understand. There is a tactic that he is using to make us so crazy that we don't see what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Misdirection at its finest in so many ways by flooding the media
With
and
everything.
with everything at once.
Yeah.
So we at the Gate have collectively decided that we will be using this platform from now on to bring awareness and bring not just our views, but other, we're going to keep it as bipartisan as humanly possible because all of us have different views on, and we are all sit on different spectrums of this field on this way. So if you don't like this, turn us off right now because fuck fascism and fuck Nazis. If you don't like that, get the fuck off my fucking podcast.
Exactly. We are not the people for you.
Nope.
Because here's the thing. We may have different varying opinions on certain views, but we can all agree that
Fuck fascists.
Fuck fascists.
Exactly.
We're not fucking here for it.
Nope.
You done
And-
goofed.
Taking a stand is important when you're starting to see diabolical history repeat itself.
This is literally the fucking 30s.
I literally had an old man who lives in my apartment who's very, very sweet. He talks to me every single day. Go into the elevator with me and say, this feels...
Is this the one that always asks you to marry him?
No.
Okay.
This is a different guy. He loves my cat. I let him visit my cat. He's a very, very sweet old man. He literally said to me in the elevator, he's like, I feel bad for you guys as the young children of this generation because he's like, I feel like I'm watching the start of World War III.
And he would know. He grew up in
would
World War
know.
II.
He grew up during World War II.
Yo.
And it's frightening. Like, my neighbors are just talking about these things on the elevator because they don't know who else to talk to about these things. And I literally told him, I'm like, and I don't know how I'm doing it either. I got to work every day, contribute to capitalism, and all I really do is sit and go, and for why? And you know what? This is why.
Like, I literally know a girl who is currently planning her exit stage left out of the country.
Wow.
She's literally planning her exit stage left out of the country. She grew up in Venezuela. She saw what happened there, and she already knows the fucking red flags.
There you go.
She's like, I'm not fucking staying here. She's already got plans. She's gonna be moving out of the country with she has family out of the country. And I'm like, girl, I'm gonna fucking miss you. been missing you for a while because she's not in the state anymore. But I'm like, girl, I totally understand. You have to do what you have to do.
If I could get the fuck out of here, I would.
Yeah, but then you'd miss me.
Who says you wouldn't be coming with me?
Oh shit, that's right. Where are we going? Ireland?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm sitting here like I work at a global company and I'm like, maybe, just maybe, they'll have a position open not here.
Basically.
And I can internally transfer
Hell
not
yeah.
here.
I
But
know.
yeah, I think that's kind of, I've never been alive in a lifetime where I've sat here and heard so many people, not all my peers, saying things like, I'm trying to find an exit plan out of here because I'm not wanted here.
Yeah.
And that is so frightening when you grow up on this ideology that this is the American way is for everyone. We welcome everyone with open arms, and seeing how this person who hides behind a banner that says "Make America Great Again"
No, just say his fucking
is,
name.
you know what?
We're
Fuck
going
you,
all the
Trump.
way. Fuck this.
He's literally
Cedar fucking
You're not
Cheeto
making
Caesar.
America great.
Don't
You are
disgrace
making it
Caesar.
worse. You are taking away the things that made America great. And it's very, very frightening to see unfold. And I never thought I would see it in my lifetime. I thought COVID would be the worst I saw in my lifetime. So this is very frightening. And I'm not even 30 years old. And these are the things that I'm seeing and experiencing. Like I was born into a number of tragedies to follow. And it's very, very distressing that this is where we're at.
It all started before Lavender was born.
Exactly.
Also, I changed my mind. Do call him Caesar because the Ides of March are coming up.
Yes,
I was
the Ides
born
of March
on the
are
Ides of March.
coming.
I know. Ides of March are coming up. Luigi, come on, man. Or Luigi 2.0, come on.
We need somebody to do it.
Beware.
And you know what's
Also,
so
I'm sorry, it's funny because Cam Cam commented on a post about the muskrats being like, someone has to do the thing. And people are like, I hate that. All you have to do is say, do the thing. And everyone just knows what you're talking about.
it's true though.
Yeah.
It's true. And again, like if you've been a faithful listener of the Gate for so many years, you know that we take very hard stances depending on the subject.
Yeah.
LGBTQ inclusion and rights and all that, we're always going to be very firmly because all three of us are queer.
Very near
Yes.
and dear to our hearts.
Yeah, we all sit under the queer umbrella. We all are different queer spectrums. Like we're there. Like gender is also another thing that we have taken a firm stance on when it comes to this. But this, I was on the fence, guys. I'm not going to lie to you for weeks now about ever since this dumbass took office. I've been on the fence about talking about it.
Yeah.
And Lavender and Scarlet can tell you, I was like, guys, I don't know if this is a good idea. We use this platform for laughs and silliness and sometimes to bring awareness to some things. But you know what? It would be wrong of us to not use our platform and our voices and sit idly by while people destroy everything that we've watched in our lifetime.
Yeah.
In our parents' lifetime.
Yeah. Mhm.
Be created. We're talking about policies that have been in place for 60 plus years.
Yeah.
Because today we're not going to talk about everything that the crazy man is doing. We're not doing that. We are not going to do the let's throw everything we can at the, and see what sticks policy that he's doing.
No.
And that causes way more anxiety. I can't even tell you how many of my friends dread opening up their eyes every day.
Plus, it would be a disservice to everything that's happening to even try to Mod Podge it into one thing.
All of this deserves its own fucking show.
Exactly.
It really
and it
does.
would be a disservice to ourselves and to our listeners to not address these things. Because I feel like we've created a community here at the Gate and within the Color Wheel
And the travelers.
and the travelers. And we would be doing a disservice to all of you guys if we didn't stand up for what was right and hold up on our promise that we made in the first episode of 2025, which was that we would be a safe space for you guys.
Still are.
Emotional damage.
It's true. We are not going to go back on our promises, unlike Cheetos. All
Why
right.
we got- I like Cheetos though.
I don't.
Oh, that's fair.
So
I like the fucking like leopard dude. He's a cheetah, isn't he?
he's Chester Cheetah.
I mean,
Chester?
yeah, his name's Chester.
Chester Cheetah.
Oh, that's so wild.
Is it bad that every time
I didn't
you
realize he
do
had a name.
say Cheeto,
What did
I just think of one of the most disgustingly underrated seasons of American Horror Story, which was Cult.
I actually didn't see
I
that one.
actually did not watch that
Cult
one. I started
is
it
one
and
of the
never
best.
finished it.
I think Cult is actually one of the last great seasons of American Horror Story. And one of the things that they do to represent the MAGA cultists is Evan Peters' character literally bathes himself with Cheeto dust.
Oh my God.
Like,
Wild.
honestly, it is one of the best. If y'all haven't watched it, you have to watch it. Like, especially in this political climate, if you need something that's actually, because let's be real, Ryan Murphy does not, more times than not, does not hit the mark. But this, he hit the mark very, very well. And he kind of expresses exactly what we're starting to see in our society. And it's very well done. And I would suggest anyone to watch it, especially if you need a form of outlet during this time.
Or, I mean, also, if you are one of the maggots and you are one of the cultists and you are worshiping at the altar of the orange, as many of them say, you guys are seriously insane. I mean, I've unfortunately had a few encounters with some people that are heavy duty into, the MAGAism. My family, some of my family members are heavy duty in the cult. It actually caused such problems last year during the campaign, during the election, that there are members of my family that are no longer speaking.
That actually happened to a really good friend of mine. Hasn't spoken to his mother since before Christmas.
I don't blame him.
Because
Valid.
it was just so upsetting to him. And he was willing to try to, that's his mother. He was to avoid talking about it. And he was like, oh, if I just avoid talking about it, it's not going to end. And then it happened because his mother said these things to his sister, who has a son who has a severe form of autism.
Oh,
And that's when the sister stepped away. And then he also had to say, I need to support my sister and I need to support my nephew.
Emotional.
And had to step away as well. Like, this is what this is doing to people.
oh, it's marginalized in the
no.
entire society.
It's very, very upsetting because I always grew up on the policy that, look, I'm not going personally. I always thought, politics were civil. I was never going to judge someone if they had a different politic than me. But we have reached a point where, there are some people that I know in my life that have voted for Trump, but I also don't believe in these forms of extremism and are now almost realizing the cost of what they did.
Yeah.
And that's really sad to see them go through that. But at least I can be like, okay, then I know that they don't agree with all these things. But
I have tried to do that with some of my people.
And there are some people that are just so
Deep in the
enamored
fucking Kool-Aid.
that they just
Dude.
can't
Yeah, no.
even think critically.
It's also crazy when you see people who manage to kind of snap themselves out of it. Like my sister.
It's a true hypnosis.
No, it really is. And my sister, I genuinely have no idea how she fucking got out of it. Because my family, my parents, they're very deep in the fucking Kool-Aid. I'm gonna be real. But my sister was for years.
They're swimming in the fucking Kool-Aid.
They really are. And my sister was for years. But something
Where the hell have you been?
something
Let's go.
during this campaign, this past one, she was like, I can't fucking support him anymore.
You're a monster.
And I was like, what? And she was like, if he's a nom, I'm not voting for him. And I was like, okay. She's like, I'm not voting either way. And I'm like, girl, what? I'm like, listen, I don't agree with. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what to fucking do.
No, touchy.
But I'm just shocked to hear that you somehow are not chugging that fucking Kool-Aid that mom and dad been feeding you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was talking to her over the weekend, and she said some things, and I'm like, girl, what?
Wow.
I did not expect to hear you say that the muskrat bought the election.
They admitted it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They could admit it. But these people who are chugging the Kool-Aid, who are just really deep in that cult, will not fucking,
Oh,
say it.
trust me, we know.
And I
One
will
of them.
say one thing that is very distressing about a lot of this is this was Trump's plan. And I will say this is where the Democrats failed. Trump went out to a lot of these historically what they call uneducated states, which are states that unfortunately their population, a lot of them don't make it through primary school, whether it be financial circumstances or otherwise. They don't make it to high school level schooling. They don't, let alone make it to college level.
Nope.
And Trump used that to create influence because they didn't have this outside knowledge. And I'm going to say it right now because Bernie Sanders also said it.
Bernie should have been our fucking president.
Yes, he should have.
We're in the dark
and
timeline.
I will say this: Bernie said it straight everywhere. Whoever would ask him, that is where the Democrats failed. The Democrats went, well, everyone knows we're the good guys, and didn't bother to go to these people that were not being regularly campaigned to and regularly being told about the issues, who were only saying, oh, I can't pay for my next meal. I can't pay for my home. So they got to a level of desperation. And when people are desperate, they take drastic measures.
It's true. Like, listen. I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat.
Me neither.
I am not a liberal. I am not a conservative.
Mhm.
I guess what is the term for that?
I would say
Swing?
for me, I consider myself a centrist.
I'm an independent.
I am technically by political party, I'm an independent. But in terms of, I usually use centrist to explain myself just because there are some things where I do agree towards one side.
Same.
But I am more liberal leaning, but I consider myself a centrist because I'm not technically liberal leaning in everything.
Same here. Like, I'm very liberal in
Yeah.
some things, super conservative
Same
in
here.
others.
Same here.
And it also depends on the policy. It depends on what's going
Yep.
on. It depends on the person.
Right.
You know,
Like,
there are so many factors that make me, I'm not firmly right. I'm not firmly left.
like I consider myself progressive in the sense that like having that, like a lot of the shit that, people call progressive really shouldn't be, like, basic human fucking rights
Girl.
shouldn't be progressive.
Girl.
But because it is considered progressive, I guess that makes me progressive.
Well, common sense is a superpower.
Apparently it is. So like, I don't know, man. I don't know what they call it when you think both sides fucking suck.
You are on my side, which is I have started now openly joking that I am an anarchist because I believe
I was about to say anarchist.
I literally
That makes you-
believe
I honestly
all
don't, like,
politicians are evil.
I actually
they should all burn.
have
Pika pika.
gone on record as saying that I do truly think that humanity's problems started with organized government.
I mean, fair. In some cases,
Hold on, Jade actually thought about it for a second. Jade thought about it for a second.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Anything.
Oh no, humans cannot. Here's the problem: humans cannot self-govern.
Yes, they can.
yes, they can.
We suck at it.
No, we don't.
no, we don't.
We actually, what we suck at is continuing our actual self-governance, and then we get lazy and we let other people do it. And then when we don't like what they're doing, they're so ingrained and enmeshed in their positions that we can't get them out.
You see, that's very equal to how I feel. I feel, yes, we can self-govern. I mean, fuck, our Constitution literally says we can overthrow our own fucking government.
Oh, you mean the Constitution that is no longer available on the White House website as of January 20th?
And that is why I have a physical copy of the Constitution that I keep in my bookcase, and I have had since I was 9 years old, that my father bought for me.
I have
But
one too.
The
Nice. I think
thing
I have one
is
somewhere.
I
But
believe
it's not like the pretty fucking parchment paper and shit because I'm bougie.
Oh, the problem
so
became that we brought money into the mix with politics.
And
And religion.
religion.
Fair point. And they're all bought out. That is my personal opinion. Besides Bernie, who I really enjoy and who has gone out of his way to not be taking money from these different organizations.
Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez does the same thing.
Yeah.
We know. But she doesn't do it anywhere near as much as the others.
She doesn't do it as much as the others, but she's very much a hypocrite.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
But I will admit, I will never agree that she is not a Bernie.
Nobody is Bernie. They
nobody's-
don't make them like
but
Bernie.
That's the thing, is that we've become these politicians have become so dependent on, can a celebrity endorse me? How much money can I get? That it's become, I think a good example is, I look back on the debate between Obama and, oh goodness, John McCain,
Oh, yeah.
right? They were civil to each other. They were civil during their debate.
They were so polite.
They were so polite. And then you look at what we had this year. It's a shit. It's literally like it's like you're watching a comedy and you think it's a comedy and you almost want to laugh because you're like, there's no way that can possibly
Okay.
be where the state of politics are.
Do you want to know what's the worst part? This is the worst part. You know that things have gotten bad when you get more news from Saturday Night Live skits.
Dude,
God.
for real.
From
For real.
fucking The Late Show with John Oliver. Okay, or what is it? Whatever.
Yeah, John Oliver.
John Oliver, and then like when you get more fucking news,
Or like, was it when fucking Jon Stewart came back to the fucking Daily Show or
As
whatever
he
it is?
should.
As he should.
I love Jon
No,
Stewart.
but still, like, he literally had to come back because he was like, fuck.
Fuck this, literally.
Well, yeah, but we'll get there in a minute.
But
We're-
yeah.
we're almost there.
That's the thing. I think so many of these politicians got bought out, and then now you have an egomaniac who is a millionaire who thinks the entire world was built around him.
Think it was George Carlin who said, I'm pretty sure it was George Carlin in one of his comedy specials years ago. He said, it would be so much easier if these politicians wore jumpsuits the way NASCAR drivers do that have all
Yeah.
of their sponsors and endorsements on their jumpsuits so we know who they're working for.
No.
Honestly, though,
It was
100%.
either George Carlin or it was Robin Williams.
I actually think it was George Carlin.
I think it was Carlin. Because, like, Bill Burr just went on a fucking crazy-ass rant about billionaires
Oh,
and everything.
yeah.
How,
You know, I think Cam played that for me in the car, and I was like, bro.
I will
no,
say,
Burr is
Bill Burr
if you
is like
guys
fucking
need
great.
a good visual of what we're talking about is I'm admittedly a huge fan of BoJack Horseman, and they made a joke about the Trump campaign. I think it was
the first one.
season 3 of the show where they have Mr. Peanut Butter being told by his ex-wife Katrina, who now works for the Republican Party,
Oh, God.
to put him up as a candidate for the governor of California because he's likable enough. And then the whole joke is he doesn't have any views. His views are whatever the polls say. His views are whatever he's bought out to say.
Jesus.
And then the ongoing joke is so that he can even run for governor, because at this point he technically can't because there's another governor, Woodchuck Kachuk Berkowitz, who's voiced by, rest in peace to his soul, the guy that played the captain in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, I know who you mean.
And-
Adrian Broder.
Yes, Adrian Broder. And he technically, his term isn't up. So what they do is they elect to create a bill that has hidden riders inside of it that lets
It's called a hustle,
each
sweetheart.
person say what they want to happen so that they all agree to it and can make them force the governorship to turn into a ski race down Devil's Mountain. And that's what's so interesting is that was all done as satire, and you sit there and you're like, holy shit, that's exactly what's happening right now.
Okay, prime example. The elongated muskrat thought that a TikTok skit was news.
Yeah.
Wild.
Okay, the orange menace in charge fucking was taking SNL skits and TikTok stories as credible things that were
Yeah.
actually happening. Like,
Yeah.
these are comedy. These are satire. This is making fun of the fucking hellscape that this country has become. Okay? Because listen.
I mean,
Neither option that we had was good.
No.
neither option was good.
Neither
was good.
No. Like,
No.
look, I personally voted for Kamala. Did I really think Kamala was a great candidate? No. I am actually very invested into looking into a lot of politics. And for me, I did not like how the Democratic Party was currently running. I knew it would be a lot of the same thing,
Yeah.
but I was like, it's better than the alternative.
Honestly,
That was my decision making.
that goes down into the devil you know is better than the devil you
Yeah,
know.
I would
No,
rather
exactly, that's what
have
it
more
was.
of the same.
But here's the other problem. Trump was a former president. He was number 45. Now he's number 47.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the problem. We knew the fucking demon that he was. We knew.
We knew.
We knew. And everybody sat there and was just like, oh, maybe he's better. No, stupid, he's worse. He's so much worse.
As I said, a lot of it has to do with Kamala hardly campaigned. In my opinion, I feel she didn't reach out to the constituents that she needed to.
My personal opinion on Kamala Harris is you were the vice president. You could have done so much in 4 years.
Exactly.
especially when Biden himself couldn't do it anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
she
you did nothing.
You did nothing. And then
And
also, like,
that was the problem. And she didn't reach out to the constituents that she should have. She was just focusing on, let me have Beyonce come and let me have this person come. She didn't reach out to the people in America. And this is what Bernie said. He said, you should not be surprised when the working class turned against you, because that was primarily the percentage of people that voted for Trump were the lower working class.
Because we thought we were going to get breaks. I didn't vote for Trump.
And he said, you cannot be surprised when the working class that you said you were going to protect finally turns against you when you're not,
That's rough, buddy.
when you leave them in the dust.
yeah.
And that's unfortunately what happened here. And I think a lot of people were not thinking beyond, maybe he'll help me pay my rent.
How those egg prices looking, bud?
Exactly.
God.
And $18 Y'all, I eat eggs like a fiend.
She does.
And I literally have an egg and a piece of toast every single morning. And I have not been able to buy eggs because I am not willing to spend $20 on a carton of 12 eggs.
Fucking insane. Because I remember when eggs, oh my God, I sound like an old person, but like, I remember when I,
At Pepperidge Farm, remember?
no, but I literally remember back in fucking 2020 when I worked at Target and eggs, and a carton of eggs, like the store brand, was 99 cents.
That's what they should be.
And then the organic eggs were like $5.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Nope.
fucking insane.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Here's the worst part about this. Groceries were already going up under Biden.
yeah,
Let's call
Yeah.
a spade a spade.
it's
Gro-
reality.
The reality of this is grocery. This is not just a Senor Evil Cheeto problem.
They were going up under Senor Evil though too, because I did
they
see
were
them
going up in his first, and yes,
Yeah, they were. They
But
were
then
going up
again,
in his term too.
everything
Was going up.
Yeah.
Everything's been
Yeah.
going up because of COVID.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade here. COVID basically
Fucked our economy.
fucked not just our economy, it
everything.
everything.
Yeah, no.
I really do think that we like got pushed into a different time zone or alternate dimension.
No,
We're in the
I
dark
agree.
timeline, I'm
It's
telling y'all.
Very,
We really
it's very
are.
frustrating. And, it's also the big thing here as well is, yeah, the prices are constantly going up. But beyond that is, who does a millionaire help? Other millionaires. They're not here to help those of us who are making minimum wage at a job. He's not helping those of us who are making a salary even, trying to get by.
Not helping those of us who are disabled and can't
Exactly.
work anymore. Not
It's
helping our senior
none of us.
citizens. Definitely not helping our fucking
Veterans.
veterans. Fuck off. Okay.
Yeah.
But even though we've prattled on about this is all I promise you we have a point. We are going to, for the foreseeable future, we are going to be talking about this a lot more.
Yeah.
Today, we are covering the first executive order that the president put out the day he took office. We are talking about it because of this order, so many other fucking things have happened. And a lot of people are trying to blame certain tragedies on it. Like the fact that in 31 days, we have had 19 plane crashes. 19. That is unheard of. Okay, maybe you hear about 1 or 2 plane crashes a year.
Yeah.
And most of it is not like catastrophic or whatever.
Yeah.
Ever since 9/11, we have had very, very strict guidelines for air travel and all sorts of other things and maintenance and all sorts of shit. So tell me how in 31 days since this person, I'm being nice, has taken office, there's been 19 plane crashes.
So there's a couple of points
fucking
there.
terrifying.
One, air traffic security was scaled back.
Yes.
2, we had one of the deadliest crashes that we've had in 10 plus years?
Yep.
Which was the one that marked it off. And then you have to think 3.
Are you talking about the one in Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
Okay. The one
And-
where the helicopter, poof.
Yep.
Yep.
And 3, the thing is now we're aware. So it's going to be in the news whenever it happens now.
No, because here's the other thing. Kendrick had it right at the Super Bowl. The revolution will be televised. That's why they wanted to get rid of TikTok. And you can sit there and say, oh, you're just crying about it. Me. No, TikTok is the only place that I was able to get actual fucking news.
Yeah.
Stories,
Yeah.
firsthand accounts, nothing watered down, nothing changed for the sake of media presence like Fox likes to do, or CNN, or any of those fucking
Or
major
any
news
of them.
companies.
Mhm.
TikTok was able to give it to us. We were able to connect with people outside of the United States.
Yeah.
And then TikTok went dark right before he went into office. And then we got it back. And it's not been the same ever since.
No.
And I actually speak to several people outside of the United States. And I ask them, what do you see? Because we're not seeing it. We are not getting it. You guys can't see us. You don't. The rest of the world is fucking laughing at us and crying for us and screaming in horror as they are literally watching a repeat, almost fucking verbatim to the playbook of 1930s Germany.
Yeah. No, there's literally other countries that are protesting for us right now.
Oh yeah, Germany, Poland.
I think the UK. There was one in the UK. I saw.
There was a big
Yeah.
one in the UK. There was a big one in France. But again, we're getting off topic here. That's another show. We're talking about DEI. We are going to be talking about
Yes.
DEI because the very first executive order that the president put out on January 20th, 2025 was called Ending Radical and Wasteful Government DEI Programs and Preferencing. Now, this executive order basically stated that DEI, which stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion, ends. Done. No more. And this is going to be ranging in areas of all federal government, from airline safety to the military. And this is in answer to repeal President Biden's executive order 13985, which was advancing racial equity and support for undeserved communities through the federal government. So this executive order by President Trump was to rescind that order on top of multiple executive orders that have been put in place over the past 50, 60 years, starting with the Civil Rights Act back in the 60s.
Yep.
Now, President Johnson created an order in, I think it was 1964.
Yep. Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson made this in 1964, and he basically put diversity into the workforce. He basically said that you can no longer be discriminated against if you are for your color, your race, your religion, your origin, your nationality, none of it. Like your sex, none of it. Gender, like your sexual orientation, none of it. No, none of that anymore. It has caused controversy over the last 60, 70 years, right?
Oh,
60
yeah.
years. It's caused 60 years.
Yeah, 60 years.
Yeah.
All right. It has done a lot, but also it has also held back a lot. That's the double-edged sword that is DEI and the equal opportunity and all that stuff. But Trump getting rid of it completely, I think, is insane.
I agree. It's an excuse to be able to blame everything on DEI and everything on underserved communities by proxy.
Yeah.
And the thing is yeah, there were certain cases where a lot of these companies were using, especially independent private companies, were using the face of DEI to get tax breaks,
Yes.
et cetera, et cetera. However, the thing was they were not properly using DEI or implementing DEI the way it was meant to be implemented.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure you've seen
Oh,
this
no,
in action.
I literally
Yeah.
have, because like first of all, I used to work at a job. I have to be I cannot mention the name of this place because they will come after me if I do get too specific, but it was an investment banking firm, a very small one, and they I worked in the back office, so we got away with a lot, but they would have either Fox News or Fox Business on 8 hours a day. I wanted to slam my head into my fucking desk until my brains
I
just
remember
spilled
you
out.
talking about this in our group chat where you were just like, kill me, kill me, kill me.
What was the other one?
Oh,
Seventh Heaven or something?
oh no, when they had
Was the
Little House on the
CW?
Prairie on.
Oh.
That's what it was.
No, listen, okay? That was a fucking treat, all right? Because there was some of the most unhinged shit on that show.
Well, those books are unhinged as fuck. So,
but that's way besides the point. We could talk about that on another fucking
absolutely,
episode.
But keep going, girl.
Okay. But no, like they would have Fox News or Fox Business on, and they would blame fucking everything on DEI. Like it just was their scapegoat, and it's like, listen, I haven't been at that job in almost a year, so I can't tell you exactly like some of the stuff they would just blame it on because I was also doing my best to tune it out. No, really, I was.
I know, I remember.
But like it would just be the most random shit. It's like, oh, it's DEI's fault. Because they had this one British dude on for like 3 hours a fucking day. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? You're kind of a DEI hire. You ain't American. Anyway.
I mean, Elon Muskrat is.
Yeah. No, that's right. Weren't people calling the fucking like immigration
He's not
board on him?
American. He is South African.
Yeah, weren't people calling the immigration hotline on him?
They are.
Good.
So much
Keep
so
doing
that they actually shut it down.
Good. Yeah, no, but like it was just everything was DEI's fault, and it's like, bro, what the fuck? And then it was crazy because like the two women I worked with would like blame DEI for shit, and then the manager that I worked with, who keep in mind, like they were both white women, and like I am mostly white. And like keep in mind, like I am mostly white. My grandmother is Chinese, so I do
soy
have
sauce.
Yeah, exactly. Got that hint of soy sauce, but like whenever I like have to mark off like the race question, I put white because like
That's what you are.
exactly like I'm not gonna put like there is the option 2 or more races, but I'm not someone who needs to. I don't feel like I'm someone who needs to put that. Like there are other people who like are not mostly white or like white passing.
That's
So like
different. You have a quarter
exactly.
Chinese.
I'm
So
a
you
quarter
don't-
Chinese.
You're not comfortable.
Exactly. That's the thing. And I also was not raised really cultured. So again, like I'm not comfortable with like, like
You're Americanized.
exactly. I'm super Americanized. So
Yeah.
like,
It's
I'm
fine.
white. Exactly.
This is your choice, though. But the thing is DEI gives you
Exactly. DI gives me that option.
There you go. It gives you the
and there are
option.
other people who, have the same, like Keanu Reeves, who would definitely, probably put off the 2 or more races. Well, I say Keanu Reeves because I always joke around I'm Keanu Reeves Chinese because he and I are the same percentage Chinese.
There you go.
And he also gets this from his grandmother, but I digress. But I was saying, my manager, who was another like white woman of European descent, she actually confessed to me that when she, got my job application and she got my resume, she never looked over my resume and saw my qualifications. She just saw my legal government name, which is,
Very Italian.
which is very Italian. Figured I was probably another white woman of European descent and called me. And that was it. And then I came in, was very professionally dressed, was good in the interview, and that was it. I got the job. Had nothing to do with my qualifications, just that I was a white woman with a European name.
It's disgusting.
So there you go. There's
That's just it. Like, and then knowing that made me feel like gross because I had no experience in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I knew my way around an office and office equipment. I knew how to handle a phone, but like and granted, I was qualified for the job, but I just knowing that it wasn't because I was qualified and just because of, like
Your name.
my name and that I was white just made me feel fucking gross.
Yeah. That's the double-edged sword that is DEI.
Yeah.
That is the double-edged sword that is DEI. Now, I'm going to explain for everybody what this order actually did. Now, even though it's very detrimental to my mental health, I've been reading every single executive order that has been coming out.
it's better to know than not know.
Agreed. Because
Yeah.
I'm also, everybody here at the gate knows that I'm also known as the knowledge bomb.
Yes.
Oh, always.
I'm not going to talk about a subject if I am not educated on that subject. I'm going to do my best to do as much research as humanly possible so that I can accurately talk about something. This is one of those things because we are taking a stand. We are taking a stance, which we have never done. I want to be able to defend that stance. I want to be
Yes.
able to sit there and have somebody who has a different opposing view from mine and be able to have an intelligent, accurate conversation with them. Unfortunately, most MAGA people don't like that.
No.
But whatever. I digress. Trump rescinded policies that require federal contractors to promote affirmative action and diversity programs with this order. His actions are in line with his promises that he listed during his campaigning, which is he calls Agenda 47. But here's the problem. If you guys have been living under a rock, you may not know what Project 2025 is. Agenda 47 basically echoes Project 2025.
They're all the same key points,
They
essentially.
really are.
Same shit.
Now,
Same shit, different skin.
what he did the day he did this, all federal DEI staff would be placed on paid leave and eventually fired. Just gone. Bye-bye. So he didn't do, like, this has been going on for a while. Like, Trump doing this is not, like, out the fucking blue. This has been happening. The Supreme Court ruling against race-based affirmative action in 2023. The conservative backlash against the DEI programs on social media, in the courts, and in Congress. And a period of time during which multiple top companies have decided to end their DEI programs and end their support of social or cultural awareness events, i.e. Pride, Black History Month, Pride Month, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this is not specified that it's necessary in the order, but it is implied that this is what they want.
Yeah.
Done.
They wanted to all give a neutral pallor. And I think something a lot of people might forget is, especially in all three of our lifetimes, we saw when it was illegal to be gay and married.
Yep.
We saw the fire to fight for these things.
Yep.
And we need to get that fire back.
We've seen the fire for fighting. In my lifetime, I've seen
We can't get complacent.
I've seen the fight for Black Lives Matter. I've seen the fight for gay rights. I've seen the fight for gay marriage. I've seen, because I am older than both of them, so deal with it. I have seen all sorts of things in my lifetime, things that I didn't even realize were world-shaking events because I was too young to understand what was going on. I saw. So it's, plus also I've seen some world-shaking events firsthand. All right? But to explain what exactly is DEI. Now, diversity, equity, and inclusion is what DEI stands for. But these programs can take many, many different forms. But they generally describe the efforts to increase access to and remove barriers from things like higher education and jobs for those from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds, races, and genders. So basically DEI is the ability to give you access to things that you may not necessarily get access to based on where you come from.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, say, here's an example. You come from a small rural town in, let's say, Arkansas, right? But you're very intelligent and you're able to go through school and get access to certain programs that help foster your intelligence and all these things. That's because of DEI.
Yeah.
So based on a person's socioeconomic background, rural Arkansas is our example here, they are able to get access to programs that they normally would never have gotten access to, and that potential that they have would have been wasted.
Yep.
That is an example. It's not, if that follows anybody's actual life, no, sorry, not sorry. Now, the origins of DEI effort, especially in the federal government, can be traced back to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, as we mentioned earlier, which, among other things, discrimination in employment based on race, religion, sex, color, and origin were outlawed. They were made illegal. President Johnson issued Executive Order 11246 in the very next year, 1965, which barred discrimination in federal employment and required the government to take affirmative action to ensure that applicants are employed and employees are treated during employment without regard to their race, creed, color, or national origin, which means they could not be discriminated against while working at the job that they were at.
Yep.
That is what DEI started as. Now, Trump has revoked all of this in this executive action. He's stating that, and I quote, critical and influential institutions of American society have adopted and actively use dangerous, demeaning, and immoral race and sex-based preferences under the guise of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is a direct quote. He said this. Now, don't see how, again, it's the double-edged sword.
Yes.
If I'm up against someone at a job for a promotion, I want my promotion to be based on my ability to do the fucking job.
Yeah, your merit.
Not based on the fact that I'm white or a woman or falling under the queer umbrella. I don't want any of that. The same way that I wouldn't want my opponent or, the other person that is trying to get the same position to get it based off of them being, say, like Black, Spanish, or a man, or, transgender or anything like that. That just literally, and while this is why it's a double-edged sword. Trump is trying to say we need to bring back meritocracy when it comes to jobs, but he's also literally removing every other safeguard that we have to prevent it from becoming,
Just all white men.
nepotism.
Yeah.
Literally becoming, oh, I like you. You can have that job.
I mean,
Right.
Trump is he literally is the byproduct of nepotism.
He's a nepo baby.
He's an Nepo baby. So, of course, he
hold on,
wants
to
it that
also
way.
kind of like just backtrack a little bit to what you were saying, Jade. Like, how many times have you seen or heard of women getting passed up for promotion just because they're a woman?
I'm not even going to talk about it considering my job is a mostly men.
Yeah.
There's very few women.
Oh, honey.
Because I'm going to do my Trump impression. There's a lot of women in my job, but they're not, they're not like the men.
And then
they're not very strong. They're not very good, but
and-
they're there.
no, and the fucked up thing is, like
I just can't even do that without making
Someone-
a hairball.
someone
I
once
choked on his toupee.
someone once I once had to hear a man try to justify that to me, and also try to justify the gender pay gap.
He mansplained it to you.
Yeah, a man tried to mansplain it to me by saying that it's because a woman may decide to take a pregnancy leave. That was his fucking excuse.
Of the window.
Just throw him out.
Exactly.
Just throw him out.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't.
That was why it's okay for women to get passed up for promotions or get paid less, because a woman may decide to go on pregnancy leave.
Yeah, but this is why DEI is such an important thing.
Exactly.
Because it's more than just the ways that independent companies have notoriously abused it for tax breaks. Like, that's the one commentary I can understand from the other side, is there have been plenty of situations, both in my situation as well as others, where people were specifically passed up, not based on merit. But here's the thing. These companies then used the idea of DEI to be, instead of saying, oh, we just wanted to hire this person or give this person the promotion, they said, oh, we did it because we had to do it because of DEI.
Yeah.
So a lot of these private companies were not only using these tax breaks, but villainizing DEI to pull blame away from their improper practices.
I know.
It just drives me crazy because, like, a lot of people are like, and again, I've had this conversation with maggots. I have. Especially the people that are so heavy into the fucking Kool-Aid because they try to sit there and call me a feminist liberal slut bag. Suck my dick. Yes, I am, all right? Fucking, I'm sorry. You're single because it's not your choice. Trust me.
Ha! So damn for real.
Like, I saw something on TikTok the other day by an older, obviously like Gen X woman. And she said, women are the only ones that are single by choice. Men may think that it's a choice, or they may say it's a choice. Trust me, it's not a fucking choice. It's not a fucking
That's
choice.
so real, though.
Nobody wants to fuck with you.
This was from a Gen Xer.
No, that's so real, though.
Okay. So now here's my problem with Trump's original order. He put out another order 2 days later, which is the President Donald J. Trump protects civil rights and merit-based opportunity by ending illegal DEI, which is another order that he put out 2 days later. And it was claiming it's protecting civil rights and expanding individual opportunity. And I'll read you the first part. Today, this is January 22nd, 2025. President Donald J. Trump signed a historic executive order that protects the civil rights of all Americans and expands individual opportunity by terminating radical DEI preferencing in federal contracting and directing federal agencies to relentlessly combat private sector discrimination. It enforces longstanding federal statutes and faithfully advances the Constitution's promise of colorblind equality before the law. This comprehensive order is the most important federal civil rights measure in decades because, and I quote this, it terminates diversity, equity, and inclusion discrimination in the federal workforce and in federal contracting and spending. Federal hiring, promotions, and performance reviews will reward individual initiatives, skills, performance, and hard work, and not, under any circumstances, DEI-related factors, goals, policies, mandates, or requirements. Now, that's literally, I'm not going to read you guys the whole order because then we'll be here forever. I won't. But it does talk of restoring the values of individual dignity, hard work, and excellence. And they are saying that it is individual dignity, hard work, and excellence are fundamental to American greatness. This executive order reaffirms these values by ending the Biden-Harris administration's anti-constitutional and deeply demeaning equity mandates, terminating DEI, and protecting the civil rights.
But who's to say what's radical?
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
Have y'all played BioShock?
Yes.
This is how you get BioShock.
Oh, it gets
This is
better.
how you get fucking Rapture. This is fucking Andrew Ryan. This is how you get Rapture.
Oh, it gets
Tell me I'm
better.
fucking wrong.
I cannot.
Also,
cannot.
Kayla, play BioShock.
I love BioShock. Like, I've watched all the playthroughs.
It's so good.
It's
I
amazing.
just have never physically played it because I only just could afford to get myself an Xbox like 2 years ago.
Oh my god.
That's fair. So he goes on to say, reversing the progress made in the decades since the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Fuck! You're reversing civil rights by giving us civil rights?
That's not how the
That's not how this
force works.
Ugh.
And also, the more that he is replacing people with people that only fall under his ideology,
Sorry.
it takes away, like, because here's the thing. Who is this person determining radical DEI? Him, essentially. And then, so we're just supposed to be under the guise that anything he says goes.
Yep.
And a lot of these private companies are already taking this as an opportunity to say, oh, we don't need to support diversity at all. For example, someplace that I worked and I really loved recently just put in inclusion mandates maybe about 2 to 3 years ago. And I just got a letter from them because I am a stockholder in this company I used to work at. And they specifically said outright, they said, we are voting against DEI and our board. We want all of our stockholders to also vote against DEI because we don't want to take a political stance. Why is equity considered a political stance?
I don't understand why this is.
It's like you can you can have equity and inclusion and diversity without it being fucking political.
Exactly.
the
And that's
two-
what's scary.
The two things don't need to, it doesn't need to be fucking political.
Gets better. This is where it gets, this is why I know that they're, whatever drugs that they're on, I want some.
Oh,
'Cause
girl.
maybe it'll get me through this fucking hellscape. But
For real.
reversing the progress made in the decades since the Civil Rights Act of 1974 toward a colorblind and competence-based workplace. Radical DEI has dangerously tainted many of our critical businesses and influential institutions, including the federal government. In the private sector, many corporations and universities use DEI as an excuse for biased and unlawful employment practices and illegal admissions preferences, ignoring the fact that DEI's foundational rhetoric and ideas foster intergroup hostility and authoritarianism. Shut the fuck up. Billions of dollars are spent annually on DEI, but rather than reducing bias and promoting inclusion, DEI creates and then amplifies prejudicial hostility and exacerbates interpersonal conflicts. Yes and no. It can. It has. We have said this multiple times during our cast today. It is a double-edged
Sword.
motherfucking sword.
Because here's the problem. You're giving the ideas of how to implement DEI to people that already have prejudiced points of view.
Yep.
Which is why I'm saying my worry here is why is equity being considered radical in any way, and who is to determine what is radical and what is not radical?
Apparently, our president.
And that's the issue here is, as I said earlier,
You're a monster.
a lot of these private companies wanted tax breaks. So they purposefully were making hires to substantiate DEI because the government was willing to give them tax breaks.
Colleges too.
Colleges too.
Colleges get so many federal grants based on the amount of students or the student population that are of a certain descent, that are of a certain gender, that are of a certain color, that are of a certain fucking sexual preference.
And here's the thing, and I will say maybe I am not knowledgeable enough about this, but why are we giving rewards for people to just do the right thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, and that's where I believe the hostility came from.
Yeah,
Because there was a lot of misuse of the practices.
I can agree with you there.
And then now Trump is going, I'm going to make sure the misuse of that doesn't happen by literally stripping everything.
And like, here's the other thing too.
Yeah.
It goes beyond just like it goes beyond like who's getting hired and who's getting admitted into schools. I used to work at an HVAC company, or HVAC, which heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
Yep.
That did a lot of construction work in New York City, like and the boroughs. And this is a big one that I want to touch on because because the company I worked for was very small, not very well known. And this company was partially owned by a man of color. And and I'm not sure if this is a New York State thing or like or if this kind of falls under like the federal DEI stuff. But
Federal.
there was a thing where certain construction jobs, they had to have a certain amount of vendors who were, or like a certain percentage of vendors they had to get services from that were in some form diverse, either women owned, person of color owned,
Yeah, no,
etc.
that's federal.
So then it was federal.
That's what they
and
meant when they
that's how-
said federal contracting.
Yeah, so that's how my company was getting a really big amount of construction jobs at one point, of contracts. And the thing is, like, sure, the guy that, owned the, CEO, the guy that owned the company, listen, he got his fucking money, okay? He's running around in his Gucci suits and his Gucci belts. You know what? Good for him.
Yep.
But he's not the person who's getting fucked over here.
No.
I'm talking about the people who are out there trying to feed their fucking families, who are actually on those fucking construction jobs, who are working their asses off, trying to get their money, trying to get their overtime, who are just trying to bring a decent fucking paycheck home so they could feed their fucking families. Those are the people who are getting fucked over by this.
Yeah. It's true.
Like, and that is like why, that's one of the many reasons why this is hurting so many people. And the other thing is also, like, guess what? A lot of the guys that I worked with on that, in that job, they were also like men of color.
Yeah.
Like, not that it was like, they were only hiring, men of color. Like, it was, I would say it was like 50-50.
All right, so they were hiring a lot of BIPOC people, but they were good
also-
at their job.
Yeah, and also they were the people who were applying for the job.
So they there you go.
Exactly.
The day, it's not hard, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what drives me crazy about it, though, is the very end of the second fucking executive order.
Oh, God.
The very end of this executive order is the biggest fucking, like, self-jerk that I've ever seen on an official document.
Oh, God.
President Trump promised and delivered. President Trump promised to terminate the DEI in the federal government, protect equal opportunity, and force schools to end the discriminatory admissions policies. And he delivered. Every man and woman should have the opportunity to go as far as their hard work, individual initiative, and competence can take them. In America, excellence, grit, and determination is our strength for the horde. No, I'm kidding. I added that part. But that's literally what it sounds like to me.
Is it the strength to suck my nuts?
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
Like, okay.
I'm sorry. I just needed to, like, crack a joke at the end because I cannot fucking deal with it.
Go ahead, girl.
Go off, because seriously, on some real shit, I'm reading this and it's like every man and woman should have the opportunity to go as far as their hard work, individual initiative, and competence can take them.
But you're taking away like fucking protections for women in the workforce.
And you're taking away the opportunities to show off that competence. You're taking away those opportunities of people who do not have their fucking shit on, correct? Who do not have the abilities. Fucking, we have a crazy man who's sitting at the fucking the Resolute desk on the cover of Time. And it's not the president. An illegal fucking immigrant from South Africa, and you're going to tell me he's competent? You're going to tell me that?
This is a man that literally, like, fathers, like, a dozen children.
13.
13.
He's got
Jesus
13
fuck.
now.
And then he has kids that don't even have pronounceable names. And I'm not saying that to
All
be, like,
that for a
racist.
Kyle.
I'm saying that, like,
How's that racism? It's a fact.
I know, but, like, they aren't, and they're not, it's not because he's from South Africa. It's because he's naming his children after fucking robotics terms.
Apparently,
Which
one
he
of the,
doesn't even have a degree in.
apparently
mind you.
one of those
Exactly.
robotics terms basically like is pronounced Kyle.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that for a fucking Kyle. Are you kidding me?
Are you
Also-
surprised?
I wish I was. Also, guys, leave suggestions in the comments for things that Scarlett, aka me, should yell at Cybertrucks when they pass by. Because right now I've been yelling at them to get a better fucking graphics card.
I just yell fuck fascists.
But no, that's gonna be the next one. Fuck fascists. Fuck your fascist mobile is gonna be a new one. I'm also gonna tell them to just fucking buy a PS5 already.
We need more options. We want to be able to scream a different option every
Yeah.
time we see a Cybertruck.
basically.
I just having too much fun with it, but I'm probably like one of those people is gonna like start a fight with me, and at this point, like bring it the fuck on.
Honestly, considering the fact that their car can be dismantled with my bare hands, I'm really not joking. It's been done. Look it up on YouTube. I would love to fight somebody who drives a Tesla. I would.
Specifically a fucking,
Cybertruck Tesla.
Hey.
Because
Exactly.
because listen, one of my closest friends does have a Tesla. It is a very nice car. I've been in that car.
My uncle has one.
It's a very nice car. It's fast as fuck, boy. All right. And it's all electric. His car is completely electric. Cool. Awesome. But fuck this man. Fuck all this shit. Any closing thoughts on this? Because honestly, this is an ongoing thing that we are very passionate about, because honestly, it can affect all of us.
Yeah.
Sitting in this room. It can affect you. Listening out there in the Gateland. I don't know. Travelerland.
I love it.
You know? Like, I'm not gonna Roman salute you or throw my heart out to you. I'm not gonna do that because fuck fucking fascists and punch Nazis in the face. That's my closing thought.
Yeah, fair point. I mean, I still can't believe that he tried claiming that he was throwing love out into the audience.
And then Bannon did it to Bannon just did it straight up yesterday.
But I digress. It's we all need to get through this together, but the way that we're going to do that is having honest, open conversations and refueling that fire.
Yes.
And caring about and fighting for what's right in the things around us. We want to, let's be on the right side of history, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have anything to say, Scarlett?
Yes, so I'm going to start out by quoting my most recent earworm song, Cheap Perfume. Yes, it's okay to punch Nazis.
Yes.
Always.
I fucking love that song. It's great.
I've been playing it with almost every single Gate fucking post.
Yo, for real. Like,
It's okay to punch Nazis.
Yes, because it is. And again, like, this is a very much like ongoing conversation. And again, keep in mind, like, you hear DEI and a lot of people don't think it's going to affect them, but it does.
Yeah.
This is going to affect and fuck over so many more people than you could possibly fucking imagine. And it already is. So
An entire third of the government lost its job.
exactly. Like, just keep in mind, and every other executive order that comes out you think won't affect you, it will.
And
Eventually,
slowly
it
but
will.
surely.
Slowly but surely, you are going to get affected. So if you don't care, you better fucking start.
And we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, we are not a political podcast, but you know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures. And honestly, somebody should be talking about it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know, like, everybody should be talking about this. We should not be silent.
No.
We should not. No.
Silence
I
is complacency, and it's not the fucking time for that anymore.
I took an oath when I was in the services. I took an oath when I joined the department.
Mhm.
I stand by those oaths.
Yeah.
And to this day, that is my moral compass. And I'm sorry. One of those oaths said I will not bow to any false dictator, king, or foreign country. I stand for the United States and the Constitution on which it was built upon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to do that until the end of my days.
Well, yeah, did you
So-
see? There was one military branch that
The
sorry.
Army.
Yeah, the Army.
Hell yeah, that's mine.
Hell yeah.
That's mine. That's
The
mine.
yeah. I wasn't sure if we should name it, but fuck it. The Army. They were told to strip medical care from transgender people, from transgender service members, and the
And
Army
also
put in
get them
writing.
out. Get them out of
Yeah.
the service.
And the Army said, we are not fucking doing that, and put it in fucking writing.
yep.
Fucking good.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
Go Army.
go Army. And pretty much, I'm pretty sure I think the Marines said something too.
Fuck yeah.
Semper Fi,
Yeah,
bitches.
the Marines
Semper Fi?
don't fucking take shit.
Nope.
I knew a Marine. He was a very, very close family friend. We miss him a lot, and he didn't take fucking shit.
Damn
And
right.
trust me, he'd be all for punching fucking Nazis, this guy.
Dude, if you guys haven't watched Creature Commandos,
Oh my god.
Oh my God, I still have to watch the last episode.
G.I. Robot,
Oh my God, I love him.
G.I. Robot is an icon.
He's the best.
He is the
He's
moment.
My favorite.
He is the moment.
He's my favorite.
Be like G.I. Robot and kill Nazis. Punch Nazis. Stop them when you see them marching because they've been getting pretty bold in doing it. But on that note, until next time, Phoenix fucking fans and all you fuckers out there that may or may not like us after this, sorry, not sorry.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Later.